Hmm. Okay. So, hello folks, and welcome to the Sunday night broadcast. And before I start, let's see. Stuff. If you would like a private session with me, you can find out details about that on my website. There should be links below. And I'll be doing a weekend in London on the second weekend in November. I think it's the 10th and 11th. And I also have a couple of books. And what else? If you want to support my channel and my work, hi Anne, please become a patron on Patreon, and thank you for those who have become patrons. It really does help my channel a lot. And if you can't be bothered to become a patron, if you'd like to donate, that would also be really gratefully received. Anything else? Usually at the last Saturday of every month, I do a webinar. I had one yesterday, and it was so nice. It was just so good. I won't be doing one in September because I'm going to be in Berlin. Hi, Paul. And hey, lovely. Yeah, that means I won't be here the last weekend of September as well, but that's okay. Yeah, I think that's it. Hi, Joe. So, what is this all about? It's the greatest thing because it's not about anything that can be really explained or described, but it's the one thing that everybody wants. Freedom. Freedom from wanting. But it can't be found because that which is wanting it is that which is looked for. Everything that is happening or apparently happening is that which is looked for. The sense of the person looking for what can be understood in these words, which can't be understood, is that which is looked for. The appearance of a me and a wall and the voice and the wanting to understand and the desperate feeling, I want to get it, I want to be free, is ironically that which is being looked for. That's why it can't be found, because looking for is it. It's already here as everything. Life is appearing already as everything. Hi, Maddie. It's already here. It's already done. It's already all that is, which isn't anything that can be described. Nobody can know that, because there isn't anybody to know it in the end. This, in the end, is not about anything that can be put into a box. It's not non-duality. It's not Neo-Advaita. Came across a Neo-Advaita stream Facebook thing yesterday. It was absolutely awful. Actually, hatred of Neo-Advaita. I don't even know what Neo-Advaita is. I don't actually know what Advaita is. It's some sort of Indian thing, isn't it? This is just about actually just the obvious. It's the only thing that is. It's the only thing that is, and any kind of teaching that says you can get here is actually ridiculous because it's already here. You can't get here. How would you get here? How would you get to already sitting in a room? How would you get to that when it's already done? All these ideas of getting somewhere are just a story. They're just something that goes on. They're made up. It's all made up. The idea of enlightenment. What even is that? It's made up. If someone says they're enlightened, so what does that even mean? It doesn't mean anything. This is beyond reason or purpose or morals or ethics or anything or getting anywhere. This is the absolute. This is the absolute. There is nothing else. And if anyone says there is something else, tell them to show you, to point where it is, because it won't be here. It'll be either a story or some story of another thing, an imagined future with an imagined enlightenment. They'll not be able to show you. Then they'll give you all the woo about, well, you won't know till you get there. Absolute garbage. It's already here. There's nobody further away or closer, because there isn't anybody who can be further away or closer. It's already here. The me appearing, the condition of me appearing in the body, who wants to get there or feels not there enough for anything, is this. This is everything. This is everything. I was going to say everything you're looking for, but I'm going to skip that bit. This is it. Hi, Lewis. Hi, Josie. Hey, Paul. But I know that the seeker, because the seeker is so desperate, he wants something definitive to get hold of. But also there's something else that kind of recognizes that it's not going to get anything. And it just wants to absorb the message. Just wants to absorb the message. It's a kind of a sense of it. A kind of a sense of the rightness of it. Because there's such an obviousness to it. You know, there's such an obviousness that this is all there is. I mean, yes, there might be a mental understanding. Yes, this is all there is, but I can't find it. But that I can't find it, it's just a story. It's the separate sense of the person who feels separate from it. It just feels separate from it. That separate sense of the person is just an appearance. It's not a person at all. Hi, Phyllis. Robert Wolff calls it the absolute. Yeah, I like to take off the word the. It's just absolute. It's a fly. Just absolute. Total, whole. Nothing else, nothing else. Everything else is just an idea. We can't know ideas about this, about something else. This enlightenment trap. The me's idea about not being a me. There is no me to not be a me. It's just an appearance. It's just the way life appears. Life appears as the separate self. There's no right or wrong in it. It just feels crap for the separate self. But it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean that someone is not there or there yet. These are just stories that the me makes up to put itself in a position. The sense of self is always putting itself in a position. Good person, bad person, right, wrong, there, not there. Hi, Donnie. Hi, Samira. Oh man, it's hot, hot, hot. It was cooling down a bit, and it's like suddenly gone up to like 40 something degrees. I have a fan on, but it's under the table, so my hair's like not going insane. Anyway, if anyone wants to ask questions, and there's always something I leave out at the beginning. I do have a Wednesday night chat group, and it is private and not recorded or anything. So if you'd like to subscribe to that, you can go on my website and have a look at that. It's quite small, it's quite nice. I like to keep it small, but there is room for a few more if people want to join. One thing I'll say about that as well, if you do want to join, just do, everybody's very courteous in there and everyone gives each other time to speak. So just to be aware of that if you want to join that. It says, why is it that humans cannot see what is? It's obvious. Because they're always looking at it from the the appearance of separation. You can't actually really see it anyway. It just is. But I know what you mean. It just is. You can't. Well, humans are this. In the end, it just doesn't matter, you see. In the end, it doesn't matter. Only matters to the separate self. It's because they're identified. It's an identification. The only thing that the sense of identification can see is itself, and itself in relation to dualistic appearances. What it perceives as dualism. Yes, and also give meaning to everything. Yes, in regard to its own sense of position and its own regard. It's always in relationship to its own regard. That's all it can ever do. That's what it spends. That's all it does. That's all it does. That's all it's ever done. With moments of rest. And then it comes back again. Seems to come back. Not that anything comes back. Because really, every appearance is an expression. Hi, Roger. Every appearance is an expression of this aliveness, including separation. And also in that can be the appearance of the apparent disappearance of that sense of separation, which people call a collapse or a dissolving, I don't know. They're just words, they don't mean much. This is also an appearance. Speaking about this as an appearance, it's such a weird appearance that there's this body here talking about this. I find it this like amazing irony. Am I bright or not bright? Let's see. That looks okay. Hi, Saket. Do you ever almost say something and stop yourself? Like a sense of gaining control? Yeah, I think so. I think so. I expect so. I don't remember. Yeah, but you have to remember that what I'm speaking here is not about this body. Everybody likes to know about this body, what this body does, what this body thinks, and it's irrelevant. Joe, don't panic about the me. Let it be there. Who would let it be there, Joe? If it's okay to be there, then it's okay for it not to be there. Yeah, I get you. That's okay. Hi, I love Rumi. Are there actually appearances, or is there just this? There aren't appearances in this, right? Table is an appearance. Because later on, when you're in bed, the table's gone, right? Well, I call them appearances. I mean, what else would you call it? Things, apparent things, which come and go. Nothing is solid. Nothing is real in the sense of solid. I think that's actually a bit intellectual. Are there actually appearances? There's just sitting in a room. There's just a room if you're inside. Let's not make it intellectual by saying what's an appearance, what's not an appearance. Like then that starts making it into some sort of mental idea about just sitting in a room. I mean, really, that's all there is, right? Well, nothing can go anywhere. Where would it go? Nothing can go anywhere. Where would it go? Yeah, that's just what's happening, and then then if there's another room, that's it. It's nothing. Nothing comes. It's actually always unfolding not in time, just unfolding. Like these hands are moving. There, it's just an unfolding of movement and appearances which cannot be really got hold of. So nothing can come and go because everything is already here. Everything is already complete. And I suppose if we didn't identify, we wouldn't give a damn what's going on. Identification is a bummer. We didn't identify. No one's identifying, no one's identifying. Identification is what apparently appears to happen. And if that's not there, giving a damn still might happen. I would give a damn if somebody was hurting my daughter. I would give a big damn. What isn't given a damn anymore is about finding completion. Because it's already here. Yeah. Josie, just a thought I had this week. Seems cruel that it would be obvious only at the last breath. Well, I don't know. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Not necessarily, though. It might be that moment. Even it only seems cruel now as an idea. I guess maybe in that moment it's just like, oh yeah, oh yeah. Wouldn't matter. Lewis, so is the idea or sense of a me no difference from any other appearance? If so, that seems too simple. Yeah, well, tell me what else it is. There's only this, okay? This, whatever, we can't call it anything. There's no words for it. I call it life. Some people call it aliveness, the absolute, whatever you want to call it. In this absolute appearance, in this absolute life, there is a sense of a person appearing. Now, is it separate from the rest of everything else? Really? When you really look at it, it is that simple, actually. It's too simple for the complicated, apparent person to get. It just can't get it. It can't get it because it is it. And that can be recognized. That can be recognized that is the case. And in that recognition, there's a possibility of that sense of that almost condition of separation just falling apart. Hi, Vivek. Nothing to get. Simple. Yeah. Yeah, it's too simple. It's too simple. But for the appearance of me, it seems impossible. But it only seems impossible in that dream of separation. It must be more complicated. Surely I have to do something. Maybe I have to meditate more, or maybe I have to do self-inquiry or go into awareness. There must be something I can do. Second, prior to awakening, were there any coincidences that happened that freaked you out? I don't know. I don't know. That's all just. None of it matters. None of it matters. No one awakened. There's no awakening. It's already awakened. It's already here. It's already everything. It's already here. Prior, after, I don't know. It's just that anything that I say about that is just a story. Yeah. I can barely remember last week. Never mind, 3 or 4 years ago, whenever it was. But I don't remember freaky coincidences. I don't know. Lots of things seem to have happened. Lots of things apparently happened. Yeah. Hi, Nikolai. Oh, thanks. Sometimes I feel like something like violence and cruelty grows in me, but suddenly it disappears and only love remains. I feel so helpless by being what I am. Yeah, maybe that's frustration. It feels like I can become anything, even a murderer, that there is no control. Well, you wouldn't become a murderer. You wouldn't become a murderer. There's nothing that can control that. That would just be an idea that I can become a murderer. If there is a violence appearing, that's probably some sort of frustration or something. I don't know. I don't know anything about that. Yeah, suddenly it can disappear. Yeah. It shows you, doesn't it, how transient everything is. It's just so transient. This body could commit murder. You never know when this body might need to kill something or somebody. You just don't know. No one can control that. But I understand that it mustn't feel very nice for you. It says, yeah, but it seems like a gradual process, this realization. Yeah, it seems like it. It seems like it. Yeah, because if you relate all the episode things together and you put them in time, it seems like that. It can, yeah, it can. It's paradoxical in that way. But you have to, none of that happens in time. It's just the way it appears. It's just the way life is. You know, there's people I speak to and I see them bit by bit becoming less of a person. Yeah, it seems like it, but then again, it seems like gradual that the body's getting older. It seems like that about everything, doesn't it? Seems gradual. Takes like 3 minutes for the kettle to boil. I'd say it's gradual for the water to boil. But that's the way that this whole amazing life seems to appear. The person is so fixated on realization. I get that. I get it. I do. But what, in the end, there is no awakening. There's no awakening. It's the opposite. It's actually the opposite. It's an ungetting. It's an unknowing, an unrealization. It's like, ironically, the opposite. It's the freedom. It's freedom from all of that. Awakening or realization sounds like a bit of a burden. Lewis, yes, the apparent problem appears to be that there is a sense that the me must be more than any other appearance, but actually it isn't really. Yeah, totally. Miguel, hello, Miguel. Hello, Rumi. Do you ever speak about deep dreamless sleep? Even when this appears absent, I become confused by that. I don't talk about it, no, it's just deep dreamless sleep. It's just, that's just deep dreamless sleep. That's just how it is when it's there. You can't really know it, but everybody loves it, even though they can't know it. Joe, what do you like with clock time? Oof. I don't know really what you mean. Like everybody else, I guess. Samara, I think the gurus and masters of the past made realizing reality as a difficult process. Yes. Oh God, some of them were saying it takes lifetimes. Lifetimes. Not pointing to the actual reality that life is here. Life is here. Going on about the person having to do this and that towards awakening is actually really arrogant, because then it puts the person as the most like significant thing in this wondrous life, as if the human is the center of the universe. There is no center of the universe. Dimitro, for what purpose do people usually laugh? I don't know. It's a wonderful thing though, isn't it? I love it when I know people who can make me laugh. Love it. Maybe it's a de-stress. Don't know. I love a good laugh though. I love stand-up comics. Lovely. I feel really gloomy today. Hard to recognize there is no separation, since only me experience that of my life circumstances. Any thought you can offer? I feeling gloomy is what you're looking for. There is no I who feels gloomy. There's something saying, I feel gloomy. I'm gloomy. There is no recognition. No, there is no recognition. The recognition is not by the I that feels gloomy. The I that feels gloomy is life. Is life. The only me experience is life. Circumstances are life. Everything that is apparently happening is what you're actually looking for. But you can't find it because it's already the case. It's already the case. Someone's answering my questions for me. CDD. Hi, CDD. I guess my separate self seemingly doesn't want to appear anymore because I want freedom from the feeling of wanting anything. I'm gonna have to read that again. Honestly, I read the words, but it just didn't twig at all. I guess my separate self seemingly doesn't want to appear anymore because I want freedom from the feeling of wanting anything. That whole thing sounds like a story. That's all I can really say about that. I guess my separate self seemingly doesn't want to appear anymore. The separate self has no wanting or not wanting. Separate self is just it's a condition. It's not a person. We call it the person. We give it the title the person, but it doesn't want anything. And only the person wants freedom. When there's no person, there's no wanting of freedom. There is no personal freedom. I want freedom from the feeling of wanting anything. But there is no feeling of wanting anything, or freedom from wanting anything. It's just... Second, it seems that the person needs to be mentally and emotionally balanced for the self to drop away. Would you agree? Absolutely not. Because what you're saying there is as if a human has to have a special sense of circumstances to become a no person. But there is no person anyway. There are no persons. There's only freedom. There's only freedom. The self is freedom. When that's recognized that everything is freedom, including the self, there's a recognition there. And then there's that potential or the possibility. But only the self is searching to drop away. Only the self searches for itself to drop away. No, the self, I mean, this is a story, of course, but the self could drop away under extremely difficult and mentally and emotionally challenging situations, as well as just, just dropping away or death. Hi, Stephen from Seattle. Paul, as this message sinks into the false self, can there be a taking of life seriously and less cares and worries, even if you don't consider yourself as awake? As this message sinks into the false self. Okay, I'm going to scrap that first sentence, Paul, because I don't think you mean that, because I know you. The message sinks into the false self. No, the message does not sink into the false self. Less cares and worries. Well, the neurotic story of the sense of self. When that's not there, there are definitely less cares and worries. Nothing sticks. Nothing sticks. Situations can arise. This human is subject to situations like annoying neighbors and stuff, but nothing sticks in that sense. Sorry, I have to blow my nose. You're welcome, Dimitra. It says, so it's all already done. The person comes as an afterthought. No, the person is what's done. The person is what is done. The person is the absolute appearing as the person. And the problem seems to be with identification. Well, problems can arise from the appearance of identification. Yes. It's not the problem. I'm not talking about a problem that needs to be overcome. I'm speaking about this freedom. This freedom. I'm not saying that there's a problem. There is no problem. And in what I'm saying, there's a possibility of recognition in that. I'm definitely not giving anything as a problem to be overcome. But identification can appear to create problems, yes. But it's not even identification. The person is the person that is the fake identity. It's a false identity. It's like a psycho-emotional sense of separation. It's like a condition that arises in the brain and takes over the system and becomes a reality. It itself is a reality which it lives in, and then it identifies with everything. And that whole condition, which is a sense of separation, is a construct, is a condition that is appearing, and is life appearing as this, but this is also life saying that is not real. I'm trying to find the right words. It's illusory. It's an illusory construct. It's like having a very strong belief or a very strong psychological condition, in a way, psychological emotional condition. Yeah. Second, when I make a fist, it feels like I'm making a fist. I apply force and pressure on my fingers. Is that an illusion? No, that's you making a fist. Keep it simple. No, that's just making a fist. Is me drinking water an illusion? This is all in the head. These are all, you're going into intellectualizing. I never say this is an illusion. I never say this is an illusion. I would say that the sense of separation is illusory. It appears like an illusion, like a magician on a stage will make an apparition appear. People go, oh, wow, it's real, but it's not real. They can see it, but it's not real. And it's the same with the person. It's like an apparition. It's an appearance. But it's not really a person. But everything else, and it appears, that's for sure. This glass of water. Is it an illusion? No. I don't know what it is, but it's not an illusion. I don't know what it is. Everything else is a mystery. This absolute is a mystery. We can't say what it is. Lewis, if the sense of hearing or seeing were no longer present, then what would be what's happening? If the sense of me was no longer present, would that also be what's happening? Life goes on, so to speak. Yes. Yeah, if there's no seeing and hearing, that was what would be happening. There are many people who can't see or hear, and yet they live a full life and they can communicate, they can paint, they can do all sorts of things. Thank you, CDD. I don't remember what I said, but thanks. Stephen. The illusion is not that the person can't do anything to free itself, which is impossible. The illusion is the idea of the person as a whole. The person is literally not here. Yes, it's literally not here. It's an appearance, calling itself me. CDD. My story seems to be that I want the psycho-emotional conditioning to go poof. Says the psycho-emotional conditioning. Same one. Same. And the separate self is still here, but yet there seems to be more and more freedom too, which is lovely. Hassan, I have a question. Okay, please don't be a troll. Paul, I drove from Norfolk to Cambridge today to see some friends and then back again, and it never bloody happened. There's just a slight whiff of a memory appearing now, lol. Yeah. I know, right? Apparently there was a day happening today, but now it's just like, it's gone. It's, as you say, a whiff of memory. Hassan, what is the meaning of freedom? It has no meaning. Meaning is only for the mind. So it can get a hold of it. It can get a hold of something, then it can feel, oof, now I have something I can hold on to. The person, the sense of me always wants to have something to hold on to, because that's where it finds its ground. That's where it finds its worth, or whatever it wants to find. The sense of the person is always looking for completion. It's always wanting to feel fulfilled. So it will look for meaning. The horrible thing is for the apparent seeker is that this has no meaning in that sense. It doesn't need meaning. It's already full, free, whole, empty, everything, nothing. Lewis, I feel like something clicked when you implied that the me is no more special than any other appearance. Yes. Yes. You know, it's funny, like there's just words on a page here, but in those words I sense you. I sense it. Joe, dust in the wind. Yeah. He says, beautiful. All things appear and disappear. Everything just comes and goes. Nothing to hold on to. Yeah. Yes, it's beautiful, isn't it? It's beautiful. It's like, you know, the human can really hear that. It's just like, it's like, even if it's temporary rest, it's nice. What do you mean freedom has no meaning? I just, what I said before, just as I said before, it has no meaning. Because meaning is for the mind. This is freedom from meaning. This is freedom from the mind. This is absolutely unknowable. To have meaning would to make it knowable, which would make it dual, which would go back into the realm of duality again. Lovely. Actually, it also clicked here as well with all the gloominess in me. Yes. Yeah. Second, does the past no longer have an emotional texture? So you no longer care about your history, parents? No, I don't. No, 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 no. Do I? No, I don't think so. No, gone. There's nothing to hold on to. Nothing sticks anymore. I'll have a memory, but it doesn't stick in the same way because that memory is no longer about somebody. It's just a story. Those stories tend to have that emotional texture you speak of when there is a sense of that was me, and that what happened to me has a relation to me here. When that is cut, when that's gone, that invisible imaginary rope doesn't exist any longer. CDD. My whole me holds on to stuff. There's no freedom there. Yeah. Well, that's what it does. It holds on to it. It's always in relationship. It holds on to everything because it can only exist in relationship to other, including memories, things, people, ideas, hope, freedom, enlightenment. Holds on to everything because it's like the what do you call it, the center of a wheel, and it's got all these spokes reaching out to everything. It's called duality. It's the illusion of duality. It can only hold on to things because in this there is nothing to hold on to. It runs in its mind. Get me out of here. Lewis, yes, so funny. All that fuss about me, that there's no difference to anything else. All appearances, always appearing. Yes. Yeah, Hassan. I think what you are saying to explain feelings, but freedom is not a feeling. No, it's not a feeling. No. Feelings are just feelings. Feelings come and go. Everything comes and goes. This is free form. This is free form. Everything comes and goes. But it's all the same. It's all the same. Energetic, alive, life, whatever you want to call it. Can't call it anything. It's just this expression of, the absolute. I'm using the word "the" now. I love contradicting myself. It's an absolute expression. But freedom is not a feeling. No. This is freedom. What is apparently happening is freedom. It's free. It's free. Well, life appears to be a play. Life appears as life appears. Yep. In your opinion, I can't call that freedom. That's fine. That's fine. Whatever. Lewis. Wow. Nothing at all, really. It's not a thing. No, it's not a thing. Yeah. It's not a thing. It's free fall. I said, but if it's not a feeling, how can I feel it? I don't know what you're feeling. I don't know. And there is no any meaning in freedom. How can you explain it with words, which you do here? I'm not giving meaning to it. Hey, Dirk. The yin-yang nature of life doesn't magically disappear when the construct of self drops away. What drops away is the story, the meaning, the labels. What drops away is a sense of separation. Life continues on the same, except for the sense of separation. And when you talk about appearances like the me appearing, it always makes me wonder, what's it appearing to? To nothing. To nothing. It's just appearing. The glass is just appearing. Who to? Nobody. There's nobody here. There's nobody here. Raw. I am gay. You are a troll. Hassan, when you say freedom has no meaning, actually you give meaning to freedom. No, I don't. You're just, all this is just, you're just making it intellectual. That's just intellectual. How am I giving meaning to what has no meaning? That's not possible. I'm not giving no meaning a meaning. Oh, the viewers dropped. There must have been a bunch of trolls who've decided not to bother with me because I don't give them the time of day. Hopefully they'll go all together. Okay, got 5 minutes left, guys. Lewis, I can't stop laughing. A lightness. Like there isn't anything in what appears. Yes! It's the most wonderful laughter. The irony of it. It's just like, oh, it's just, oh. It's like, talk about being confronted with the absolute obviousness, which was always here. It's always here. It's like right in front of your face. It's here. And it's when you see it, it's just like, oh my God. It's funny. It's funny. Nikolai, yeah. It changes so often in a day. Freedom, love. Then after 5 minutes turns into pain and depression. I feel guilt. Just checking there's no trolls. I feel guilt and all these things. And then it feels like I must do something to change it. At that time, it seems very real and heavy. It feels like nothing helps. And then it disappears too. What a joke. Yeah. Yeah, it feels so real when it's there, doesn't it? It just feels so real. Then it's gone. It's just like, well, what was that all about? Josie, too busy with painting beauty everywhere. Yeah, I love to paint. It's summer. I love to paint in the summer. In the winter, I do more sort of animation and digital art because it's a bit cold outside. And yeah. Yeah, thanks, Josie. CDD, yeah, I don't want to have to think about it intellectually. Just want to be, yeah, exactly. It's just like, oh, I think we've all had enough of that, haven't we? that's why we're here, because it's just like being hitting our heads against the intellectual wall of spiritual processes and all that stuff. It's just like this message is so fresh. It's so fresh. You know, it's some of the things that people are saying here. It's just like, it's just like, oh, there's like drinking fresh water. Reading it, it's like, oh, because it's so fresh. It's gorgeous. When it's appearing, it's gorgeous. Second, when the self drops, do words just flowing from your mouth? Is there self-correction or self-control? No, 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 none of that. Self-correction. Self-correction. No, speaking just happens. No, there's no control or correction. No, out it comes. Sharks get out of the water. Hassan, freedom has no meaning, isn't explaining of freedom. When you try to explain something at the same time, you're giving a meaning to your title, isn't it? I'm talking about, I'm not talking about freedom for somebody. I'm talking about this, the absolute of what is, of what is. What is all there is. This is it. It's freedom from the one that's looking for it. Freedom from, but it's not freedom for somebody. And this which is appearing, this wonderful, majestic symphony of life, is beyond meaning. Beyond meaning. It's the absolute mystery. Some people call it unconditional love or God or whatever. Meaning, giving it meaning is like such an arrogance. Essence. It's obvious. It's just thoughts that takes that away, I guess. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just thoughts. Not the thoughts so much, but the more like the identification with the thoughts. From Troll playing, I mean. Sorry, Josie, I don't know what you mean. Okay, last questions, people. Where are we? CDD, when I was a child, I had a little troll with orange hair. I like those kind of. I remember those. They were really cute, weren't they? Like little naked little trolls with this big fuzz. You used to get them with different coloured hair, didn't you? Hassan, if you have an explanation to something, this is its meaning. I don't have an explanation, Hassan. And I'm not going to explain that. Lewis, this is extraordinary. Thank you, Lisa. Oh, thank you, Lewis. Can't seem to make anything. No, you can't make anything out of it. It's extraordinary. It's extraordinary. Oh, Doug. Thank you. Got it. It doesn't matter what appears. It's all this. Yes. Yes. CDD. Thank you, CDD. Stephen, the natural reality is so stunning. There's no way to share it. There's no way to share it. Oh my God, what an arrogance I would have to put a meaning on this wonder, on this reality, this apparent reality. I can't even call it apparent. I've got no idea what it is. I would never have the arrogance to hint that I did. Joe, it can't be described. No, that's right, Joe. Yeah, thanks, Donnie. Thanks, Anne. Thanks, lovely. And I will speak to some of you. Thanks, Paul. I'll speak to some of you on Wednesday. And thanks, other Paul. Otherwise, I will be here same time next week. And when I put it on Facebook, I'll try to remember that it's 8 o'clock, not 8:30. I always forget. And I realise I've got 5 minutes to get online. Sorry, Hassan, I'm going now. Thanks, Nikolai. Thank you. Yeah. Thanks, Hassan. Oh, cheers, guys. Anyway, lots of love, and bye to those I didn't get a chance to say goodbye to, and see you again soon. Bye.